Hey family, this is a quick check-in. I want to see how you are doing. If you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling achy, if you're feeling triggered, irritated, anything like that, it's just the Mercury retrograde. It's the eclipse cycle. We just came out of the new moon in Aries. We have Saturn and Mars, and we have Jupiter and Uranus. There's just a lot of stuff going on up there that's affecting here. So take time, take care of yourself, go for a walk, get out in nature, go take yourself out on a date. Just be good to yourself. Don't listen to the people that try to make you feel a certain way. Don't make harsh judgments on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. I haven't posted a podcast in a couple weeks because I have been dealing with crippling depression. Yes, that is in the spiritual community. And don't let a spiritual woo-woo influencer tell you that, oh, it's your vibrations low. Oh, it's this, and that. Are we in church? Are we back in church? Are we here to be judged? Is that what's going on? You are supposed to help humanity. You're not supposed to sit here and judge them. Like, what are you doing? It's so much fakery. There's no authenticity in the spiritual community. I'm not saying all of them, but you know how I am, and you know where I fail, and you know where I mess up. I tell you constantly. I just woke up today and realized that I was being very harsh on myself. No, I wasn't doing anything. So yeah, I was resting. I was taking a break from social media because social media is a lot on me. But inwardly, I'm like, get up, do something, quit being lazy, quit doing this, quit doing that. And that's the problem. So when you do that, that's when the vibration goes low. That's when you're not you're not aligned. You're not in alignment with your purpose. Your purpose is to just live your best life here, to learn and to grow and to have a human experience. And I've been hearing this talk about how the root chakra and the sacral chakra and the solar plexus and shit, even the heart chakra now is called a hell state. And that's just not true. So let me explain this to you. The root, yes, can deal, and sacral can deal a lot with lust. Thank society for that shit. But do not be ashamed of your sexual desires and those feelings. It just means you're alive and that you're passionate. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with having sex either. I may be celibate right now, but if I have sex, I'm not going to feel ashamed about it. I like orgasms. I mean, what are we talking about? But this is how you can look at the lower half of your body. And this is what I'm doing. I don't focus on the Galactic Council. The only galactic I focus on is Source. And Shiva, because he's hot. And Kali. And Sekhmet. But all of these beings were here on Earth at one point in time. Okay? So I focus mainly, my focus is Mother Earth, where I reside. I'm not residing in, I may be somewhere on a ship somewhere. Of course, this is, virtual reality, and this is a computer program, like I always say. But with that being said, I'm locked in, Bookie. I'm locked into the game. So I want to learn the game. I want to learn alchemy. You want to learn manifestation. You also want to be grounded enough and present enough to know so you can pay attention to the synchronicities that the universe sends you to show you're on the right path. But if you're just focusing on your third eye every 2 seconds, which is nothing wrong with that, how can you be present? Open your third eye. Decalcify your pineal gland. Decalcify your heart chakra, for crying out loud. Mine has been just calcified over because of trauma and stuff. So that's the thing about being present and grounded. You've got to know there's trauma involved, imprinted in your DNA. Not just the trauma that you may have experienced in this life, but ancestral trauma. Because you are your ancestors. Your ancestors are encoded in your DNA. So talk to your ancestors. Talk to yourself. Try not to do it in public, though, because they may think you're crazy, but who cares what they think? But with that being said, yes, talk to your cellular structure. Talk to the water that you drink. Every time you look at the water, you put water in your cup, you look into it. This is you being God or goddess. This is you as source creator having a human experience. This is you speaking and using programs, because they programmed us to fail. They programmed us to be slaves. They programmed us to hate ourselves. And, if they hit you, turn the cheek and let them fuck you up on this side too. Like, this is all programming. Yahusha never said that. Yeshua never said that. He never said those things. All that stuff was added later on, like in the 1800s. Not long ago. So when they were implementing and pushing this one world religion and, this fake shit and this one world currency and this one world everything, like Christians are waiting for this. It's already happened. Revelation already happened. If you just read it, you would see it's already happened. It's already happened. And anytime you see biblical things playing out, and this has happened for centuries, there's always a biblical event. There's always someone trying to take over the world. There's always some type of war. There's always an antichrist. There's always some type of astrological event where someone's supposed to get raptured, but no one gets raptured. This has been happening forever. So grannies have died waiting on Jesus to come save them. Your ancestors died waiting on Jesus to come save them, and he didn't come. The rapture never happened. I would love for it, though. Please, because, again, I've read the whole thing, so I know how it really plays out. I know who he sends into the lake of fire, and it's not the sinners. Like, it's hilarious. Like, he literally sends the people who say they worship him. We cast out demons in your name. I never knew you. Ouch. Because it's a fake religion. It's fake. In Maccabees, the book of Maccabees, it said, the Gnostics put this in there because the Gnostics had to work with King James and all this other bullshit. But the Gnostics was really, the Council of Nicaea and all them. The Gnostics, they're the real ones right now. And all these signs, all this stuff, it's not the Illuminati or the Masons. Those are mudras. This is a mudra. This is the chin mudra. When you see people do this, that's a chin mudra. This is the Kali mudra. This is the Shakti mudra. There's where we do Ganesha. Like, there's so many different mudras. So when I see these things and people do all this and they're like, oh, 666, that was added too. That really wasn't in the original Aramaic text. Like, this is all bullshit. This is Western bullshit. So all I'm saying is you can love whoever you love. You can believe in whoever you believe in, because in your reality, this is your universe. This is your mansion, right? This is your mansion. Whatever you need to believe in to manifest and to create the life you and your children and your children's children and your children's children's children and your future generations, whatever it takes to heal that lineage, to break those curses off, do what you got to do, book. Do it. I'm not going to judge you. But with that being said, stop attacking other faiths and other beliefs, calling them myths. Isn't it funny how every religion is a mythology but Christianity and Judaism? Any Abrahamic religion is not mythology, but the Hindu is mythology? What? African belief? Dogon? The first alchemist, the first scientist, the first astrologers, the first mystic, the Dogon? That's myth. They knew more about the planets than you did. Greek mythology, Sumerian mythology. It's like all of the truth. Like, you have absolute fucking truth and facts. They wrote it into the walls. So when, the Ring of Fire happened and all of the ground turned into fire and everything got buried, that stuff remained because fire cannot melt rock. It just turns into rock. So the Egyptians, the Mayans, everyone, they were smart. They were way smarter than the Atlanteans. Matter of fact, the Kemet came from Atlantis. So they knew. Oh, they freaking knew. They're like, okay, technologically advanced and putting everything on computer chips and doing all this extra stuff if it gets destroyed again, there will be no proof that it happened. So now you have all these historians saying that, the ancient man was slow, cavemen, da 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 da. The modern man cannot figure out for the life of them how the pyramids were built. And they know how it was built. The giants roamed the land back in the day. Everything was a lot bigger. You have dinosaurs, you have giants, and before you come at me and say that didn't exist, bro, you can see pictures from 1920s of giants still being on the earth. But these guys were massive. Different oxygen levels back then. It was just a different time. So what the Smithsonian did, they dug up all the giants from Turtle Island here, from America, crushed the bones, and put them into the sea. Because they know that the reason why these pyramids were built and why these mounds, because there were pyramids in the United States, still are, why this stuff was built, because they had a connection to the Sumerians. The Sumerians were an alien race that came here. So they taught the humans, like, look, and this is where you get the fallen angel stuff. So they taught the humans, if you want to reincarnate in another life, you do it this way. You can come back. Native Americans talk about it, how the giants, wanted to be put in mounds, because when it happens, the time for them to rise, they'll be able to come back because they had all of the ritualistic things set in place. All of the alchemy, all of the magic, all of the science set in place. So, Smithsonian and all the so-called archaeologists that's supposed to preserve history dug up all the fucking giants and crushed their bones and put them into the sea. How is that history? How are you teaching us anything? And they just don't want anyone to believe that America, Tartaria, Turtle Island, was this beautiful metropolis with structures and buildings. And how do you think we have underground cities? They're like, oh, they must have done it. No, again, I'm going to say it again. So when the Ring of Fire happens, all the volcanoes were up, right? And everything just turns to magma and everything gets buried. So it wasn't underground ancient cities. Those cities were above ground at one point in time. It's just they got covered. And then they get covered. And then they get covered again. She does this all the time. So you're wanting New Earth to happen so freaking bad. That's not how it happens. And y'all know that. So quit using Jehovah's Witness and Christianity and bringing it over here and trying to. And I think this is why they're saying this. And I'm not trying to attack them. It's your belief system and what you believe in. And that's why I always say, unlearn. Start over. Everything you were taught was a freaking lie, baby. Learn for yourself. Trust the inner wisdom in with you. Because I don't agree with a lot of these spiritual teachers out here. My soul gets the ick. It's just like, because it's not true. They're watching each other on YouTube and they're regurgitating the same freaking message. There are some spiritual teachers that will teach what I teach, and I'll just happen to see it. And I'm like, oh, I'm not alone. There's people out here that's actually teaching grounded principles. Principles that you need to survive this matrix. So if you've awakened from the matrix, you realize you've been played that, Big Gov and all them, Big Brother has this crew of family, this very rich zillionaire inbred freaking family, the R family, that, runs the media, runs the secret agencies, runs your world leaders, the governments, the wars, the oil, the pharmaceutical. They have their hands in everything. Like they really do. Once you realize that, and then once you realize a lot of those people are atheists, they don't even believe in the Abrahamic faith, that they're just playing the fucking game to keep you stupid. Bro, once you know that, you become Neo. You wake up, you go, okay, this place is fake as fuck. What do I do from here? Well, this is what you do. You unlearn. You're going to go through a dark night of the soul. You're going to be depressed about it. It's fine. You'll get through it. You're going to go through a dark night of the soul like I did, because you find out everything that you loved and believed in and knew and studied your entire life is a lie. and you go further, and you go further back, and you go past the Bible. Yeah. Go read the Kabbalion. Go read the Emerald Tablets. Go read the Sumerian Tablets. Go into Hindu. Research their culture. That's where you're going to learn about the chakras and the mudras and yoga and all these things where Christianity tells you it's the devil when it's actually self-awareness. It's the same stuff that Jesus taught when he said, ye are gods. Everything I do, you can do and more. If you have faith or the intention, the size of a mustard seed. Jesus was saying you didn't even need to have big faith about it. It had to be this big. Like, okay, I kind of believe it. That's enough for me. It was enough for me. No, my manifestations always don't come to fruition. But I found out the reason why that happens is to protect me. It's never to hurt me. What hurts me is how I handle it. And how I get upset, and how I feel like I'm a failure, and how I feel like I'm not authentic enough, or I get what's it called, imposter syndrome. You start getting all these weird things if you don't work through it. So yeah, that's what I've been dealing with lately. I've been dealing with not seeing certain manifestations come through after I had a whole vision about it. Like, I didn't ask for this. It was brought to me to do this. And it didn't work out the way it was supposed to. But that's because mentally and emotionally, I was not matching the vibration of where I was supposed to be to have this gift. So until you heal completely and you stop blaming the earth for why your life is fucked up, you stop blaming the devil and the reptilians, and we start doing the inner work and just digging, feeling your emotions, not ignoring them. Just that's what I did. I got depression. I couldn't cry for a day because it started right at the eclipse. And it's just been like the planets are jumping me and stuff. And I just took it. And I knew it was coming to an end when, the suicide things start popping in my head yesterday. And don't judge me, because we all suffer from this. It's where, I was telling my friend yesterday, I was telling her, we talked like 5 hours, which has never happened before, but I felt like I was just sitting in front of her. I was just telling her, about all of my health problems. And, the new thing added on was kidney disease, stage 3. And on top of severe Crohn's disease, tachycardia, short gut syndrome. I got all these things going on. All right. And when that happened, I just told the universe, I said, okay, I'm done. So this is me taking control of my life. I'm no more diseases. Don't add another thing to me. I'm done. I'm not playing this, oh, you came here to suffer and die shit. No, absolutely not. I am 48 years old. I will be 49 this year in October. I am not going to live the rest of my life in excruciating pain and suffering or hiding in my house. I have an ostomy, and it prevents me from being out and enjoying my life, because here in New York, for some freaking reason, New York City does not believe in restrooms. They want you to come visit. They want you to be out and about. No restrooms. None. So what I would do, and I'll do it because I'm going to leave. I'm getting out of the house today after I do this podcast. I'm getting out of the fucking house. And I will go out. And if I have to empty this thing, if I cannot get a restroom, I will find the nearest bar. I will walk up in that bar and I'll say, give me a beer or a shot. I'll get a shot. And then I'll go use their fucking restroom. Because that's what you have to do here. My son went to LA. First thing he saw was restrooms. Public restrooms were everywhere he went. He said, oh my God, Mom would thrive here. New York, y'all got to do better. And I'm talking to government officials, not the New Yorkers. God bless y'all. I love New York. But yeah, like, what? And then it's just stuff like that. So I'm digressing. So when things are piled on me, and I still work a full-time job. I'm not on disability. I'm still working. So anybody in my condition is normally on disability, right? Like, you got 2 severe diseases and you, yeah, I'm about to life. But the thing is, I have been like this my whole life. I push and push and push. No matter how hard it gets, I just keep pushing myself. And that is not okay. Yeah, it's good and long, like, for my ego or whatever. Like, yeah, they couldn't stop me. But emotionally and mentally, I'm just pushing back to trauma. I'm doing that thing, right? Where I'm just like, oh, not now. I don't have time now. I don't have time now for this. I got to do this. I got to hustle. I got to grind. I got to go. And then you have a lot of men out here that are mad at us and calling us masculine. No, Bookie, that's not masculine that you're seeing. That's the matriarchy. Yeah. Yeah, the M word that y'all hate. The matriarchy. The last time I talked about matriarchy, I had a bunch of troll-ass, bitter girls that are, self-proclaimed as men come for me. But all because I told the truth. A historical lesson how the matriarchy also had consorts. Because you're so programmed with misogyny. And it's a Roman thing. This isn't indigenous. This isn't African. This is religion that has done this to you. It's a fake religion that punches down on women. And the people who made it up hated women. You know why they hated women? Because they liked little boys. Look it up. I'm not going to do this for you. So you're following this agenda that punches down on women to the point where you're so programmed, you hate us now. You hate our guts. And I'm just to the point now, I'm not going to keep babying y'all. I have a lot of male followers and they respect me. And I love y'all for that. And I'm not talking about you all. I'm talking about people, trolls, NPCs, bots. And I'm calling them bots for a reason because there's no way your higher self is running your vessel. You are so glossed over and so programmed. The matrix is your higher self, bitch. So yeah, and I told my ex-husband, when we were talking about, we got in a little heated debate. Hi, Kevin. We got in a little heated debate about matriarchy and patriarchy, and he got triggered too. And so I had to bring him the fuck back. And I'm like, bro, of course you're for it because you're on the winning side. What? How's men winning? So I had to remind him, who runs the world right now? It's not us. Who's causing all these wars? You call us emotional? Who wants to bomb people as soon as you're offended? Bro, come on. But if we say anything, or if we talk back, or if we defend ourselves, we're effing bitches, we're masculine. What's your body count? What's your body count? You ran through, Bookie. All because you think God wanted it that way. You think God's a man, Jesus is a man, the Holy Spirit's a man, the angels are men. What were women created for then? If it's just swinging dicks in heaven, I mean, what are we doing? And if it's just swinging dicks in heaven, then that's not a party apparently I'm invited to. That's a Diddy party. Sorry. I had to. One more thing, and I'm going to say this. If you're ever blessed to become a billionaire, don't become a monster. Okay? Because it seems like and I know not all billionaires are bad people. There's philanthropists, there's good people out here doing the work and giving back. But there's these other billionaires out here. You get a little money to you. You get you some really rich, Rothschild friends. And then they put you in these situations and they're like, oh no, we'll protect you. You can do anything you want. We'll never let nothing happen to you. Well, Bill Cosby found out the hard way. Harvey Weinstein found out the hard way. Took decades, but it happened. R. Kelly, now Diddy, and all his crew. And the only reason why Homeland Security came for his ass because he's probably got senators and all kinds of high-level people taped at those parties. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. So I don't think it's the love of money is the root of all evil. I think it's the lust of power. They should, since the Catholic Church keeps taking shit out the Bible, and adding to it, even though it's supposed to be an abomination to God, but yet they're doing it because they don't believe in it. I told you it's a program. They're playing us. Go ahead and add to it and say the lust of power is the root of all evil. I love you. Y'all take care of yourself. Go outside today.